Hello everyone, my name is Smithy and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going through the brand new minigame on Old School Runescape called Giants Foundry. Now to start off, there is a quest that you need to complete to actually get into the area where the minigame is, and that quest is called Sleeping Giants, which was released alongside the new minigame. And to get to where we are, we're currently over in Alcarid and we're over in the Giants Plateau. So the quest start is here. You need to bonk the giant there on the head, and then it starts the quest. But this isn't the quest guide, this is the minigame guide. Essentially it's a brand new smithing minigame where you create swords based on assignments that you're given from Kovac over here. Every time you complete the minigame, you get foundry points, you get XP, and you also get coins as well, because you're using your own bars that you put into the kind of furnace or smelting thing, this thing here, the crucible. So you're given money back for using resources. The XP rate's not bad. I'm getting about 50k XP an hour at the moment, and that's using a mixture of adamant and mithril bars. I haven't used rune bars because I don't have 85 smithing to be able to use those, and I think it's myth and addy are probably really where you want to be using here. And you can also use addy weaponry or myth weaponry and armor and instead of bars. So I think a addy plate body counts as 5 bars, or sorry, a plate body counts as 5 bars. If you put that into the crucible, it counts as 5 bars. You need to put in 28 bars every time you fill it and when you go to make a sword. We're going to go through a full example of how you do it, because there is some sort of features to it and mechanics, and each of these different machines have different kind of mechanics to them as well. This is the red one that will come up at the top, which is the hammer. We've then got the yellow one here, which is the grindstone, and we've got the green one. This will all make sense once we get into the actual minigame, which is the polishing wheel. Now, to reduce your temperature, you can use the waterfall, and you also have a quench option, which allows you to reduce down the heat quicker. You've then got the lava pool here for heating up your sword, and then you can also dunk in the lava pool to increase the heat quicker as well. So I think really the best way to explain everything is doing it, or is going through it while we're doing it. The only item that you really need is the ice gauntlets, which makes it a little bit quicker to get your sword out of the mold. So yeah, if you don't have those, you're gonna have to wait for it to cool down, I believe. And if not, go and get the ice gauntlets. I don't think it's that hard to get them. I think there's a few quests that you need to do, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I will put a link to the wiki, I guess, down below that you can go and look that up. But anyway, let's get into doing our minigame at the Giants Foundry. So if we speak to Kovac, actually, before we do that, quick thing. When you start getting your points, you want to start buying these molds, because they will give you more points, which means you get more more points at the end of each game, which means more prizes, and you can get the outfit quicker. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to click commission on Kovac. He's going to tell us to build a certain type of sword. In this case, it's heavy and flat. So we now need to build a sword that is maximum points in heavy and flat. So if we come over to the mold, and we'll see that it's highlighted what numbers or what characteristics we want to be aiming for. So we want to have the best combined value. Here we've got a flat that would be 18. We've got a heavy here that's an 8. Sometimes you do have, like here, you've got a 6 and 8, which makes 14. Good maths, isn't it? So we're going to go with the base of the sword here to be this one here, because it gives us the most points, which is 18. So now we move on to the blade section. Again, we're looking for the same characteristics. We've got one here that's 8 and 8, which is 16. This one here is 4 and 4, 8, 8, 8, 8 and 6, which is, 14. So we're going to go with the one that is 8 and 8, so we get more points. And then we get to the tip. We've got one here that's 4 and 4 for heavy and flat. Obviously, if it's, say you needed to do a broad and light sword, I don't even know if that's a characteristic that would pair up, or narrow and light, sorry, you'd be picking these, but we've been told to make one that's heavy and flat. Hey, and then you hit, once you've selected this one, because it's 8 and 6, that's the best one that we've got in our options. We hit set mold, which now puts the mold into the actual mold jig. And then we can run up to the bank chest that's just here. I need to put in my pin. Okay, you need to grab your bars, or if you're using weaponry or an armor that you've made, you can use that as well. So we need 28 of whatever bar we're going to be putting in, and I'm going to be using mithril in this case. So we're now going to come over to the crucible, fill it with our stuff, select the option mithril. That fills it up. So we've got 28 bits in there. It's now full, and we can pour the crucible. So now that pours the piping hot lava into our jig. So we can run down here, and now this is when the minigame will start. So the whole time that you're doing the minigame, you've got a temperature bar that's going down as you're holding it is cooling. So when you need to increase it, you use the lava, decrease it, water, like I said before. Yeah, you really want to, be able to lock yourself in for like 10 minutes because that's normally how long the minigame takes. So let's pick up our sword. It normally starts on a red one, which is this one over here. When you go and use the machinery, what you want to do is see this little arrow here. You want to have it in line with the corresponding color bar. So you see where it's now. I've cooled down my sword, and you can see now that the kind of pointer is within this red zone, and it's lit up with this kind of white border. So when it's like that, you want to start using the machinery. So we can see that our temperature is going down. We can see that our progression is going up on the red one here. It normally gets you to about just done, and then you'll need to go and reheat. So we can see that it's dropping down. When it gets to about here, I'm going to go and reheat my sword in the lava. So if we run over here, we'll now see that the temperature will start to go back up, but we don't want to get it going over the red. We want to get it to about here so we can finish off this section of the sword build. So we can see here that it's gone over. So we're now going to wait a second and it will drop. The temperature slowly goes down, like I said. And now we can use it and we can finish off the red section. Okay, so now it's switched over to the yellow one. With the yellow one, you need to get your cursor, the kind of pointer, all the way down to here. So the left-hand side of the yellow one. So we can use the speedy call until we get to about here, and then we can use the slower call to get it right down perfect. Okay, so now for the yellow one, we want to come to the grindstone, and we want to slowly work our cursor up, because with the grindstone, it does friction, so it gets hotter. With the hammer, it gets colder, so it moves down. Same with the polishing wheel, it moves down as well. So we would start here on the green, but we'll see that when we get to it. So now we can see that our grindstone is going up, and our temperature is going up as well. And when we get to about here, we're going to go and cool our sword down to get it back down so we can finish off the yellow section. Because like I said, we need to be on the left-hand side of the yellow one, but with the red and the green, we want to be more towards the right-hand side. Okay, so we run over, finish off grinding our sword until we hit over the green side. Perfect. So now we're onto the green. We can see it's been lit up, which means that our pointer is over. Using the quicker cooldown, and now a little bit of a slower one, and we're going to come over to the polishing wheel. So like the red one, exactly the same. As we start using the machine, it's going to start moving down towards the left. And when we get to about here, we're going to go and warm our sword up because it's got too cold. Okay, so it's going down, going down, going down. Okay, when it gets to about there, we want to run over and we want to warm our sword up. Because he's a cold boy, He's cold. Get him a fucking jacket, you know what I mean? But anyway, we'll start warming our sword up. Again, when we get to about here, we're going to run back to the polishing wheel. And we're going to finish off the green section here. So it's normally about 2 times, you start off with a full, and then maybe you get to about halfway, and then you finish the section. So we're now going on to a yellow one next. So as soon as it ticks over, and boom, we want to go and warm our sword up because we need to get to here on the yellow bar. Obviously, every time that you go to do your swords, it does change the kind of setup. I'm not sure if it changes depending on bar or not. Actually, we need to do a little bit more. See, it didn't quite get onto the white section. Okay, that's fine. I'm not sure if this order changes based on bar or level or whatever, or sword type, but it's not always red, yellow, green, yellow. Sometimes it's red, yellow, red, green, or whatever the fuck. It does kind of chop and change every time you do the minigame. But so we're getting towards it being too hot, so we now need to go and cool it down. Boom. Okay, and now we can cool it down to about here, I reckon. We can finish off this sword, and that will be the minigame completed. So move it on down. You can be risky and like do the quench perform, which means it will go all the way down really, really quick. But I'm stupid and I'll mistime it and mess it up, and then I have to go and warm it up again and blah, 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 you know what I mean, and balance it out. So there we go. There is our sword made. He does a little spin. He does a little wahey in the air, and that is our sword completed. And what we need to do now is speak to Kovac. We come over to him, select hand in. He has a look at your sword. He has a look at the time. He has a look at the quality. And yeah, he gives you your points. I got the best, my quality when I got 100 was when I was using Addy. We get 7,170 smithing XP for that and 14,340 coins. We got 28 foundry points based on the sword that we made. And then if you want to receive another commission and go again, it gives you the option. And this time he's telling us to make a broad heavy sword. You also noticed as well at the top there was a little ribbon. I forgot to say this. A little ribbon. And then you've got like a blue bar at the top. If you kind of fuck up and you accidentally use one of the machineries when you're not, got your cursor over the right section, or you use the wrong machine, for example, it will damage your sword, and it will get to a certain point. If you damage it too much, you'll foul and your sword will break, and then you'll have to, start from scratch, and you lose your resources, and you don't get any points, and you can have a little cry if you fancy. But yeah. I mean, it's a real simple little mini game. I think it's really fun. The XP rates, like I said, you can have a look here. We get about 52k XP an hour, which isn't, it's not too bad. I think the whole point of this is that you do your motherlode mine for your mining. Cash those in, get your ores, then you go to blast furnace, turn blast furnace ores into bars, and then you come here and use the bars on the mini game. It's kind of like a 3-step process, which I think is pretty cool. What I really do like I said, that you can go to the shop and you can upgrade your molds, which means you get more points per game, which I think is a really nice little feature. I'm currently saving up for the items. You can also merge the smith's gloves with your ice gloves, so you can use the set bonus and the item bonus that you get with the gloves with your ice gloves, which is, a really nice little feature. But yeah, no, I think it's a fun little mini game. It's a shame there's no pet. Because I think a smithing pet from this would have been really nice. I'm not sure if it was polled or not. I don't really know. I didn't really follow it much on the old polling system. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the guide and you found it useful. I may make a new one later down the line once start kind of metas start getting found out on that, because it is still day one of the mini game, so I'm still finding my feet with it. I've actually only got collection log, where are mini games, Giants Foundry. 28 swords made, so I'm no fucking Einstein. I'm no Giants Foundry diamond level player. I'm just a simple noob, and I thought I'd make a little guide just to give people a heads up of how it goes down around here, because I know I've seen a few people pop in here and go, what happens? So yeah, I hope you guys found it useful. If you did, drop a like. Let me know how you're getting on with Giants Foundry in the comment section down below. And if you're new around here, why not subscribe? I make Iron Man progression videos on this account. I've got a Tile Man mode series as well. And I make all sorts of guides for various different topics around RuneScape. So have a little look on the channel if you fancy. And if not, fair dues. See you later. I'm going to say ta-ra and goodbye.